Renee with the DIY Day, here to share 15 daily journal headers that I use in my composition book. If you're interested in any of the supplies I'm using, I've added the links to the box below, so check that out. And let's get started. I really like using alphabet stencils in my journal. They're easy to use, come in all sorts of fonts and sizes, and coloring them in really adds to the design. The stencil I'm using comes in a set of 4 and it's from Amazon. I'll include a link in the caption below. Once the stenciling is complete, you can leave it the way it is, or you can color it in or add some unique designs to it. For this header, I'm doing brush calligraphy. If you're interested in this type of lettering, I do have worksheets in my Etsy shop, which I will post a link in the caption below. Now the lettering looks fine the way it is, but I'm also going to add some highlights to it just to really make it pop and stand out. And in case you're wondering, I'm using the Tombow brush pens for my lettering. There's a flexible brush tip on one side and the fine tip point on the other. And there's 108 different colors to choose from. For this header, I'm using alphabet dies that I bought from Michaels, a die cut machine, and paper scraps. And after running my dies through the machine, I use some clear glue to attach them to my journal. For this header, I'm using these alphabet stickers from the Dollar Tree, as well as these dot pens by Zig. Now you can make dots with any kind of marker, but these ones just make it a lot easier and faster. First, I'm going to place my stickers down in a straight line. Then I'm going to cover each letter and the surrounding area with a bunch of dots. And finally, once everything is covered in dots, I'm going to take my tweezers and remove the stickers. Another unique way to add weekly headers to your journal is with a label maker. The one I'm using is totally old school. It's the one my mom used to use when I was a kid. So I'll add a link to a newer version in the caption below. Stamps are an easy way to add headers to your journal. For this, I'm using my stamps, stamp ink, and an acrylic block to hold the stamps. After placing the stamps on my acrylic block, I stamp the image into my journal. Now I could leave it the way it is, or I could color it in. And because I like my journals to look colorful, I colored mine in. This header is another one of my favorites because it's easy to do and not time consuming if you're pressed for time. This header is all about distributing the letters in the form of a shape. Here I'm doing a rectangle, but any shape is doable. Then, once the shape is figured out, write out the word in a mix of upper and lowercase letters and go over it with your favorite pen colors. And that's it. For this header, I'm using my Tombow markers. I'm using the gray N95 and then 3 shades of purple, which are 673, 620, and 623. I'm also using a twin tone marker from the Bright set, as well as my white Uniball pen. Here I'm lettering the word Wednesday using a Tombow brush pen in the lightest shade of gray. Now the reason for the gray is because I wanted a light color that I can color right on top of without changing the overall colors too much. Now before I colored on top of the word Wednesday, I allowed it to dry just to avoid any bleed through. So all the coloring gave the word some jagged edges, and to smooth that out, I decided to do an outline around the word with a darker shade of purple. Then I added some enhancements to my lettering with a white gel pen. For this header, I'm using an alphabet stencil, Distress Oxide ink, and a makeup brush I got from eBay. Instead of outlining the stencil with a pen, what I did was I put some ink onto my makeup brush and applied that right on top of the stencil. It's that easy. For this header, I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers punch board. It comes in a set with all 26 letters as well as the punch board. Here I'm spelling the word Saturday, and since there's 2 A's in the word, after I run the punch the first time, I'm going to move the A over and punch it a second time. And don't forget, you could use these bits on another journal header or just throw them out. When I add this to my journal, I could do it in one of two ways. I could just add it to my journal and be done with it, or I can add a background to the word to give it more color. Then I'm going to add some glue to my cardstock and place it right on top of the washi tape background. For my next header, I'm using these rub-on transfer sheets I bought from Hobby Lobby, and they're made by the Paper Studio. These are really easy to use too. All I do is I cut out the letters, remove the backing, and rub the transfer onto my journal with a popsicle stick. Once a letter has been transferred, I remove the top covering, and that is it. For my next header, I'm using these plain black alphabet stickers. Now, I usually don't buy stickers in bulk, but I got the whole thing for $1 at a garage sale, so I couldn't resist. And the cool thing is it comes in uppercase and lowercase letters. Sometimes when I work with alphabet stickers, I worry that I'm going to run out of space, so I apply the stickers backwards so I don't. Now, this looks fine just the way it is, but I like my journal to be really colorful, so I'm going to add a highlight around each letter. This header is one of my favorites to do, and it can be applied to any type of thicker lettering styles, even block letters. So what I like to do is I take a lighter shade of purple and I write out the word, and then I take a darker shade and add a bunch of different sized polka dots. Stickers are another easy way to add weekly headers to your journal. These ones are from the Dollar Tree, but I also buy them from the Dollar General, the 99-cent store, as well as Daiso. For this weekly header, I'm using geometric shapes. Sometimes I like my journal layouts to look really busy and full, and this stencil helps with just that. I bought mine from Daiso, but it's also available on Amazon, and I'll include a link below. Then, once the shapes are in place, I like to add color to them so it brightens up the whole entire spread. Then I'll take my white pen and write in the day of the week. And those are the 15 ways I create my journal headers. Thank you so much for following along. If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe below. And don't forget to check out my other composition book journaling videos.